the internet completely went out in my office. Basically, the entire building where my office is completely out. So I had to move everything to my house, and boy, was that rough. Yeah, here we go. It's time for another top 100. And, I got to say, let's kind of get into it. First of all, if you all have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have before I get going. I will say this year, because of what happened today, I'm not able to do the full top 100. We basically had the entire day got ramrodded by the internet. I spent all day with AT&T trying to get it fixed, and oh boy, it was a whole thing. But you don't want to hear about all that. This is an exciting time for me, as Hunter Bresson says, brother. Time to wrap this one up. So he's basically saying, get this show on the road. Couple notes for you tonight. First of all, check it out. My new book is here. So this is it. This is the author copies. These just came in today. So you may have seen my Instagram video about that. But I've got a giveaway that I've got cooking. So if you would like to come to the office and do a tasting with me, I'm doing a giveaway. So we're doing a pre-order giveaway. You can see the QR code right there. So just hit that, and you can order a copy of the book from anywhere that sells this bad boy, and then just forward it to the email assistant@fredminnick.com. Can't pay for your trip to come out here, but if you can make it out to Kentucky, you're welcome to come join me in my office, and we'll do a tasting. And we'll probably do a tasting of these top 100 whiskeys, some of them that are left anyway. All right, so I'm hearing some people saying that we got some sound issues. Okay, let's see if we can fix that here. Shouldn't be having any sound issues, but if you have any sound issues, Jacqueline, I know you're watching, text me. That's the only real notification that I'm getting right now, but I'm not showing any issues with sound. You should be able to hear it just fine. Anyway, so back to the giveaway. This right here is it's my memoir. It's the book of my life, kind of how I got into tasting. I'll be talking about it a little bit more when we get going here. But this is if you get a pre-order in and email me, email the assistant@fredminnick.com email, you'll be entered to win a tasting with me in my office, and it'll be a lot of fun. And if you just want to go in for a copy of the book, get a free book, hit me up at that same email and just say free copy, and we'll put you in an entry to get a signed copy from me on that as well. Okay, so here is how it's going to go. You can see here, I'm going to tape a little piece of paper on my computer so I do not see the panel that I am about to drop up. So you all will be able to see what I am tasting. I will not be able to see it. So I will be tasting blind. I am tasting the top 25. The top 25 products that I selected over the course of my tastings and got to this point here for my top 100. I'm no longer able to taste 100 in a row like I had in the past. Let's just say I'm getting older, and tasting that much hurts a little bit more the next day than it used to when I was younger. Yeah. And by the way, if you already pre-order a copy, just forward that proof of purchase over to assistant@fredminnick.com. So I am going to get right into it. It's going to be a long night here, no matter what. So we are going to get into the tasting, and you are going to be able to see the... So here we go. There they are. This is what I will be tasting tonight and determining what is going to be my whiskey of the year for the year 2025. Now, 2025 was last year, obviously, and we are moving into 2026. Why am I late? I've kind of talked about this a lot lately, but I had some eye surgeries that took me out of the game for a bit, and I also was just... You can see the paper. Are you talking about my paper, Jacqueline, or are you talking about the paper that was the thing that I put up? Anyway, I think I know what you meant. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to be tasting here. This was all set up by my wife, Jacqueline, who is awesome. Love you, baby. And whom I, wrote a lot about in the book. But I can't see anything of what I'm tasting. I don't know what I'm tasting. But these are the 25 products that made it through my gauntlet of tasting over the past couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight to it. We are going to start with Glass A. And you may have seen me taste, if this is your first time joining me for a top 100, you should know that if you drink this much, there could be massive consequences. So I actually spit. So I will spit except for like in the final rounds. Even if you do not spit, sometimes it will, leach through your cheeks. But when you are a professional taster and you taste a lot, you have to manage the amount of intake that you have. Otherwise, you'll pass out drunk, and nobody wants that. So here we go. Whew. Glass A. And by the way, Gary Penna in the YouTube chat will be detailing what I am. B is a little bit, little less sweet than A. A little spicier. C. Ooh. C's a little tangy smelling. I like the way C smells a lot. Yeah, one of the fears about doing this at home is I can hear my kids romping around up there. Like, I'm, afraid that they're going to, run down here, do something. It's like a little worse than, popping up on a Zoom, right? All right. There's D. Just kind of getting familiar with these. And right away, my mind is kind of gravitating toward the sweetness of C and A. So right now I'm just kind of giving these general thoughts, notes. He's very fruity. F is like brown sugar. G smells like coffee. All right, it's vanilla. Woo! I grabbed L. H had kind of like a sandalwood smell. I'm not seeing J. Gonna H. See if it's over here on this side. I am missing. Not seeing J. T. Huh. Well, Jacqueline, if you can see this, I feel like I'm missing J. Let's see it over there. All right. Hopefully she sees that and comes down here and helps me find it. Go back to L. Oh, God, I love the way that smells. M. L smells. And it's tannic. O. O is kind of like a little grain and cinnamon. Okay. P. Are you down with OPP? By the way, I just learned that if you like sing while you're behind a microphone doing something, you can get dinged by the people who have like the lyrics rights to that. I learned that when I was doing the audio book for my book, Bottom Shelf. I would sing a line and Spotify came back to me and said, "Oh yeah, no, you can't do that. You'll get sued." I was like, "Oh, funny story." All right, let's go to K. I'll skip K over here. P. I did P. Q. Looks like R is missing too. I wonder if she just did that, had R and took out R and J because they can be mixed up. So I'm going to assume that. T, definitely looking forward to tasting that. It smells bright. It smells like it has like a lot of S is a little funky. Ooh. X smells heavenly. Y smells like breakfast, pancakes and stuff. And then W and U. And B. P. Yep. I think W is our rye. Definitely a rye. If it's not a rye, then my nose might be in trouble. If it's not a rye, it's got a lot of rye in it. How's that? And that would be W. Less sweet than A. Sweet. D, spicy and tangy. E, fruity. F, brown sugar. G, coffee. I, vanilla. H, sandalwood. Something else there. K, sweet corn. Q, vanilla. T, bright corn and peppermint. S, funky. X, I just wrote heavenly. Y, breakfast. W, herbal. U, spice. V, snow. That's a unique note there. And P, grass. So I think, there's a couple letters that are skipped, but I'm going to count all these, make sure I've got 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, I definitely missed 2 on the nose. So did I have T? Yeah, T. I mean, I appreciate y'all's patience here. I mean, it happens when you have this many things to taste. There is a lot. Sometimes it's just me here, so I have a tendency to maybe like miss something. So I'm just gonna go through all these and make sure I've got them accounted for. I'm actually going to text my wife to come down here. Please come down. Okay. So, did I get D? I got D, E, F, G, H. All right. We're getting this sorted here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, can you help me? Yeah. Did you not pour a J or an R?
Yes, there's a J and an R.
Okay, I'm missing those.
Here is your J.
Oh, they're behind the computer.
Here is your R.
All right. See, I can't see behind the computer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But so, okay, well, I do feel like an idiot. I could have looked behind my computer, but then again, sorry. Thank you. You want to stay down here and hang out? You don't want to stay down here and hang out.
I mean, if you need me for something, I'm happy to stay down.
I'll just text you.
Okay.
I feel silly for I could have just looked behind my computer. Actually, I got to see you, so that was nice. Love you.
Love you.
Woo! I feel like an idiot. I swear to you, y'all saw me, right? I looked behind the computer, but I'm also the same guy that looks for ketchup in the refrigerator, and I'll open up the refrigerator and look for ketchup, and like I can't find the ketchup, and I'll tell Jacqueline I can't find the ketchup, and she'll just walk right over there and find the ketchup. So like, I don't know, maybe it's in my DNA. J's like X, and it smells heavenly. So I love there too. Okay, so now it's time for the first taste. And this is kind of where I will give like I'll go through these really quick, and like very nice. Going to B. And the dog's starting to make a lot of noise. I gotta. Very much a different feeling tasting at home versus tasting in my office. Different level of stressors at the house versus how I normally do it. Dog barking, you know, kids not going to bed, that sort of thing. Mm. C is very dynamic. Really like the way C tastes. Mm. D's right there too. Just nice, really nice. Going to E. Love the way this. I love the fruitiness of this smell. This whiskey. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat for a while, but I would love to know what you're tasting at home while you're watching along with me. If you want to, share a photo of us like tasting together. Put it up on your socials. Tag me. I'll reshare. Drink E. Let's go to F. Gosh, that brown sugar is amazing. If that's wrong, I don't want to know what's right. Hazelnut. Mm. Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. G's like one of those things where you want to drink that with your buddies, but you also don't mind drinking it by yourself, so no one else can have any of it. You're like, I want all this for me. Like G is really, really special. Let's go to I. I's a dark horse. I's got I's got a lot of that. Like it's got a lot of vanilla to it, but it's got a lot of like tangy corn, kind of like a Mexican street corn kind of taste to it. Mm. Let's go to H. I already know I'm going to be, after this first initial tasting, I'm probably going to be able to rank the 25 through like 19. Let's go to L. I love the ripeness and richness of L. It's like, there's a belief amongst distillers that you want the grain to speak for itself. And L is a beautiful example of like malt really expressing itself in a profile. It is. Whew. I initially wrote earthy on M, but it's it's more than that. Some fruit there too. Go to N. Going to O. Really nice grain and cinnamon there on O. Kind of reminds me of like some Frank Red Hots a little bit. K, I'm quite a bit out of order, so we're going to go to K. Also, put in the chat where you're from. Love to know where you are from. Because I feel like bourbon is such a I can't tonight because if I get in the chat, I'll know what I'm tasting, so I can't get in there and look and talk with you all like I would like to. K is definitely my kind of whiskey. Ooh, that's good. With that cornbread action. Won't give that one up now. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 more to go for my first round. If you're just now joining me, tonight I am tasting my top 25. And that's basically in large part because I had an internet outage and I've spent all day working with AT&T to try and get my office back in line. As you can tell, I am not in my office. I am at home in my basement as my kids are scurrying around upstairs trying to evade going to bed. So very different scenario, but we did the best we could to get this set up at the house. And big shout out to my wife, who's awesome, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for helping me out. And big shout out to Oscar for helping me move out all the boxes and everything from the office and helping me get the equipment set up down here in the basement. So love you guys. Okay, let's get to Q. Whew. Q's awfully good. Really vanilla, very bright on the nose. Q's got a lot of age to it. Woo. And that's spicy. Good Lord. Like I just bit into a jalapeno pepper. Go to S. S is definitely funky. Let's go to X, which I wrote simply heavenly. It does smell amazing. Wow. Whew. That is good. All right, why? Like a nice English breakfast tea on that one. Let's go to W. Let's go to U. On W, I found it to be very, very herbally, but kind of left me wanting for more a little bit. U, on the other hand, woohoo! That is good. Let's go to V. Where are you, V? There you are. Underneath there, very tangy. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough out. Which, by the way, how about the Hoosiers? Speaking of tough outs, who in the world saw the Indiana Hoosiers winning the national championship in the NCAA football? I can't get over that. Going to J. Really slow to develop on the tongue, but very powerful on the tip. A lot of really nice tannins come through here. This strikes me as something that would go really great with a steak, and all my Club Marzipan members know I love a good steak and bourbon pairing. I like that one a lot. And R. Okay. I am ready to start ranking. First of all, let me do a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, good. All right, so 25 will be S. 25 is S. So I'm going to be putting S over here. So 25 will be S. 24. 24 will be W. 24 will be W. Okay. I'm going to do my last year. Last year we had a big mix-up. I mixed them up in the middle of it. I mean, it's not easy to do this, believe me, especially when you... I'm going to go with 23 will be K. No, will be O. 23 will be O. Where is O? Three is O. Okay. At 22, B. 21 will be B. And at 20, will be E. 20 will be E. '20 is E. Okay. So that gets me through the first 5. First 6. Now I'm going to go into taste the ones that I feel like are in that 19 through 15 zone. So, and I'm going to start with A. Go to N. Tasting N. R. P and Y. So there's P and Y. Perfect. '19 is R. '18 is P. P will be 18. That's 17. Y. Y will be 17. Y will be 17. Okay. A might have warmed up to me a little bit more. N will be 16. And I'm going to taste. I'm bringing in M as in Michael. H. And so let's see if A has jumped M and H in my tasting. Didn't jump in. But it did jump H. So H will be 15. A will be 14. Down to the top 10, and then I'm going to take a little break. And that'll probably be like right at about that kind of like hour mark. But feel like we're making some good time here. And we are on, let's go ahead and name, let me bring in L. Okay. F. U. V. Yeah, that's a good group. Let's try L. I just love the nuance of L. God, I love that. V. That's an easy one for me. I'm going to put V at 13. So V is 13. 13. Use really a nice spicy, well-rounded spice and sweetness. F. Number 12 will be F. Number 12 is F. Number 11 is U. Number 11 is U. And number 10 is M. So number 10 is M. So that leaves us with our final tasting for our top 10. And I want to make sure I'm gonna get this all right here for us with my chicken scratch. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So that leaves us with our finalists, our top 10 finalists. That will be Glass C, Glass D, Glass G, I, L, K, Q, X, and J. So this is your top 10 in this year's top 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, let's see. I am missing one. So I got L, got G. So Q, X, C, C, D. All right. I got one that I put in here. I got. I'm gonna check with. I'm gonna come back from break and I'll confer with Jacqueline, see which one I'm missing here. But I know it's an easy fix. And Gary, I see you're texting me. I don't know numbers. I only know letters. So you tell me the 10 letters that are remaining, and that'll be my top 10. So let's go with that. I think I'm missing V. That's what it is. I pressed no. V is 13. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when I get back from break. But in the meantime, enjoy some sweet tunes. No, I can't play the sweet tunes. Okay, so I will be right back. Thanks, buddy. Cheers. Okay, so we figured it out, and I'm going to give you a recap so there is no confusion over what the rankings are. So I have 9 left, right? So I have 9 left, not 10 left. So that's where my confusion was. I had ranked it down to 10 already, and I had created some confusion for myself there on that one. So that's where that came from. So here are my rankings through 10. So at 25, glass S as in Sam. 24, glass W as in withdrawal from your bank account. 23, O as in Oscar. 22, T as in Tango. 21, B as in Bravo. 20, Echo, glass E, Echo. 19, glass R. 18, glass P. 17, glass Y. Glass number 16, glass N. Number 15, glass H. Number 14, glass A. Number 13, glass V. Number 12, glass F. Number 11, glass U. Number 10, glass M, as in my last name, Minnick. So as you can imagine, like it's these things can be difficult to organize, and especially when I can't know what I'm tasting, so it can get a little weird. But yeah, I don't have a staff, at least for this. I do for other things, but this is just in years past I've had friends do it. Shout out to Sid and Eric for helping. That's where we're at because of the internet outage in my office building. Otherwise, there would have been big production. Well, not a little bit more than this, but not that big. But so here we have it. Your top 10 contenders are glasses C, D, G, I, L, J, X, Q, and K. So let's get to it. We'll start with glass I. And L. I love the craziness of L. I love how L tastes. Go to J. Keeping L in the running. It's going to be between J, I, and let me see here. Let's see. Okay. K will be number 9. K is your number 9. Congratulations, K, for making the top 10. I will be number 8. Now these next 7, this is where it's gonna get hard, really hard for me. And I think I'm just gonna go. I need to taste Q, or I need to taste G. It's been a while since I tasted G. D. And C. I keep coming back to L as like L is like I love L. I feel like L is a game changer type of whiskey, but it's up against some like really massive thoroughbreds. I feel like L is like, to put into to wrestling terms, L is like a 32 seed at the NCAA tournament at All Americans. I feel like that's what L is. L is an underdog that probably doesn't make it this far on most lists, but for me, I really, really friggin' like it, and it's my list, and I'm kind of going off of tasting. And L is the most unique thing in this entire lineup. So I'm gonna keep it in. I'm gonna keep it in. I'm gonna keep it in. Yeah. So I feel like L may not even make people, like, if other people who were like me, who are tasters, were to put a top 100 out. I don't know if L makes, many of those lists, but it makes my list because it really hits a lot of things I like about whiskey. I taste the nuance of the grain. I taste the complexity of it. To me, L is very special. So I'm going to keep it in. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put at what is next, number 7, because that's where we're at, right? I mean, if you told me I was going to put J at number 7, I would be telling you you're crazy when I first tasted it. Like, no, it's going to be higher. That would be higher when I first tasted it. But I mean, 7 is still good, right? Congratulations. Every year I have one. I have one that I kind of like fall in love with that I know probably isn't going to win, because like I gotta, be. I got to go through my principles, So my principles of tasting are like, how many points on the palate do I feel it? How long is it still on the palate? And those are all principles that I kind of have developed, since I, learned taste mindfulness. And taste mindfulness, frankly, it's a big part of my new book, Bottom Shelf, which I hope you all have had a chance to go check out. But when I came home from Iraq, I one of the techniques they taught me in therapy to help me recover from PTSD was focusing on taste and how to use taste to help me get over some difficult situations. And in that process, I learned that I could actually taste things that I couldn't before, and that's how I trained my palate, is using taste mindfulness. And so that's how I'm able to taste all these things in one setting, because like I just focus on my tongue and think about where it hits and how long it's on there, and like how powerful it is. So L is a subjective favorite of mine. But when I take out like how much I love that flavor and compare it to say G and X for how long is it on the tongue, it falls very quickly. It falls off very quickly. In fact, G and X are, they're magnificent for like how long they're on the palate. So let's pare it down a little bit more. I'm going to try and get to the top 3. Let's go with Q. And as you can see now, I'm not spitting. So now I'm trying to use the little stamina I have left and completely exhaust my palate, amongst other things. And that is where things get interesting, I would say. Woo! Oh, Q is so good. C will be 6. Glass C is 6. Glass C is 6. Okay. Down to the top 5. Class D will be 5. Class D is 5. So now it is G, Q, X, and L. XL. I'm XL. What's up with that? All right. I'm going to taste it X in a minute. Let me taste that again. Q. Wow. L. I really love L, but I could not in good conscience put it ahead of G, Q, or X. L will be number 4. Glass L is number 4, but gonna tell you right now, this is a personal favorite because I love the flavor profile. I love where L is going. Everything about this is fantastic. I just, this is up against 3 juggernauts that are really, head-to-head killers. So let's see here what my final tasting will be. All right. So it's down to G, Q, and X. G will be number 3. G is number 3. So now it comes down to Q and X. Oh. Kind of wish I was in the chat with you all. I'd love to know what y'all are saying and thinking right now, because I've got thoughts that I can't exactly put out there, because I'm just trying to pick what my favorite whiskey is here, or what I think is the best. But like, man, all of these were great. All of them were great, and I have felt pretty good this entire night, palate wise. You know, when I took my break, I did. You know, my wife told me that there were some buffering issues. I apologize for that. Not much I can do because of the scenario I was given today. But you know, we pulled through, and we're down to 2. Always comes down to 2, right? And we did it in a pretty decent time. But the one thing that it kind of lacks, it's very concentrated on the 3/4 of the palate. What G has that X does not have, I'm sorry, not G, what Q has that X does not have is an all-encompassing palate. So it completely covers every inch of my palate. And when I'm trying to dissect very small things to figure out which one I like more, I'm looking for stuff like that. I'm looking for how many parts of the palate, how big is it on my tongue, and I'm looking for things like that. And obviously, X is a big, high proof whiskey, and Q is just complicated. I mean, what it comes down to for me is if I wanted to actually, this is never easy. It's down to Q, it's down to X, and X has a longer finish, okay? But Q is more encompassing of the palate. It's entirely on the palate. Like, it covers every inch of my tongue, curls up underneath, tickles a little bit at the top of my tongue. I can feel it all the way down. X is just 3/4 of the palate, but it's so massive on those 3/4. It's hard not to fall in love with that. I mean, but they're both dynamic. I have to stand by my guns. I always say, when it comes down to making a decision, I'm always going to go with finish. and the finish of X is more robust. It's longer. It's deeper in the tongue. I still feel it on my palate. So this year is really a 1A, 1 and 1A kind of champion. Like if I could crown both of these my number one for my top 100, I would. But like if you go back and watch all of my videos over the years, I always say that I value finish so much, especially in a competition where I have tasted so many things. If something can stay on your tongue after you have tasted, like, tonight I tasted 25 products and I tasted them multiple times in some cases. So if something can stay on your tongue longer than something else, that is usually my winner. But the way that Q feels, the way that Q absolutely drenches my tongue and completely encompasses my entire mouth, that's just great whiskey. That's great whiskey. And sometimes, you have to you got to give, credence to that. And so like this is as close as it has been for me on different circumstances. And I legitimately, I'm telling myself I need to follow my principles of finish, but I really want to give this to Q. So if I follow my principles of how I normally do my tastings, the winner is X. Okay? But my gut feeling and how it feels on my tongue when it touches and how it completely encompasses my tongue, for the first time in my career, I'm going to break protocol of like how I do my tastings, and for the first time, I'm not rewarding the longer finish. I'm rewarding the one that feels more. I feel more depth on my palate, and that is Q. So X will be number 2, and Q will be my number 1 whiskey of 2025. And I have no idea what it is, and I'm going to lift up the piece of paper, and I'm going to find out what it is. All right. Okay, so let's see. Where is Q? Q. Where they arrange this? It is George T. Stagg. Well, when I tasted that earlier, when I did my first review, and I was like, "Oh, this is good," and it definitely showed up. It's for sure, and it was second to. It was the X was Sazerac Rye. Wow. So 2 Buffalo Trace Antique collections were 1 and 2. Yeah, they definitely did not. They definitely didn't need my help on that one. But you know what? I tasted it how I tasted it, and those were the 2 winners that came out tonight. 3G Baumburgers. Yeah, the PFG. That was great whiskey. Absolutely. All right, what was 4? L. Oh yeah, I was in love with the L. Holy crap, Brother Justice, the single malt. I love that. I can open the chat now because I can know I don't have to hide from your. I no longer have to hide from your comments. All right, so number 5. This is my first time seeing this. You guys have had the luxury of seeing this the whole time, so cut me some slack here. 5 is D. All right, what was D? What was D? Heaven Hill 90th. Okay, yeah, that was good. That was good shit. 6 was C was 6. Okay, so the Bardstown Bourbon Company, the Double Barrel Discovery Series, that was really good. All right, number 7 was J. Maker's Mark, Keeper's Release. Good whiskey. Good whiskey. Number 8 was I. Booker's. Okay, number 9 was K. What was K? What was K? Oh, I can't see K. Oh, there it is. Bourbon Deluxe. All right, congratulations, Bourbon Deluxe. Small little brand out of Kentucky. Let's see. What is you? Wild Turkey Beacon. That's good whiskey. 12 was F. What was F? Barrel, the French. You know what? I really thought that, the way I thought that this tasting would come down to the Baumburgers, the Stag, and the barrel, French finish. When I put my list together, I was like, these are my top 3. I'm pretty sure these are my top 3. So they both made the top 15. So that's my instincts were pretty good. Number 13 was V, and that is Angel's Envy. 14 is A. The way they did this, I cannot find the letters, so this is all weird for me. All right, so I'm trying to find the letters. 14, I had A. Oh, K. Luke. Nice. Way to go. 15 is H. What is H? Ass Pocket Whiskey, 15-year-old. Nice. 16 is N. The Compromise. Oh, that's the Nashville Barrel Company release. 17 is Y. Four Roses. Damn. Four Roses. Four Roses way down there. Damn. That surprised the hell out of me. 18 was P. Frey Ranch. I love that one. 19 is R. Woodford Sweet Oak. T is 22. Where's T? Lasso Motel. So this is a really good example of this is a really good example of like how, this was a single tasting with me, but on a panel, Lasso 18 was heavily favored by a lot of colleagues of mine who voted it best whiskey at the Ascots. So that's interesting. All right, 23 is O, and that is Brothers Bond, Bottled and Bond. Solid showing there. At 24 is W, and that's Buzzard's Roost, Cigar Rye. I love that one. And 25 is S, Heaven Hill Unity. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, that was a lot of fun. Definitely a shocker for me on a couple of them. The fact that 2 Buffalo Trace Antique products got in there, the top 2 is, I mean, they make great whiskey. That really did get me. Bob Fett says, ironic that K. Luke Batch 14 gets 14th place. Well deserved. That is kind of ironic, isn't it? That is ironic. But listen, can we not say how great of a job that he has done blending at K. Luke? Jonathan's done such an amazing job. I would definitely put him up there amongst the best blenders in the game, without a doubt. Well, it looks like I've had a couple super chats. Boy, like if you all have any, thank you, Bourbon Swami, for the super chats. I really appreciate that. Now, if y'all haven't already, hit like, hit the like on the stream button there, and I'm going to, let's keep at it. Like I'm here to answer some questions. APW Craig Collins says got 15th place. Man, this is freaky. That is absolutely freaky. Yeah, and Ann Dimmick, of course, the queen of Ohio bourbon. The Dark Arts gets in the top 10. Dark Arts gets in the top 10, and I think that's a testament to what they're doing over there. I think that they're doing fantastic stuff. I absolutely loved that Armagnac finish that I tasted. So incredible. But can I just say that how appreciative I am of all you all staying with me. And I delayed it an hour. I did my very best to keep this thing going when we just internet problems left and right. I'm so thankful to you all. I really am. Y'all have no idea how much this community means to me, especially my Club Marzipan friends. Y'all are the best, absolute best. And I guess I'm just a little bit, little emotional overall of everything because this is I'm coming up on what would be my 10th top 100 soon. So this past year was a hard one to pull through, and I'm gonna work on getting this better for next year. But y'all feel free to get some questions in. Margarita, I appreciate the kind words. Was definitely a fun night for me. I was on a mission to do this under 2 hours. I think in years past I've done it in like 4 hours or something. I was really trying to get this done in under 2 hours. It really worked out. Yeah, that's right. Go Pokes. Thank you very much. Has everyone gotten got a pre-order in of the new book? If you haven't, just doing a fun little thing here where, like, if you get a pre-order in, whether you get it tonight or if you got it in the past, forward me the receipt at assistant@fredminnick.com, and you will be entered to do a tasting with me in my office, which this is not my office, but you know what my office looks like. Abandoned bourbon. What's harder? Drinking for 2 hours or 2 hours on the mat? Oh, without a doubt, drinking for 2 hours. 2 hours on the mat, like you don't even know. You just can't keep track of time. You're just like in the middle of choking and getting choked. Sane 3843 on Twitch asked a question. What's the book about? So this is a memoir. I'm an Iraq vet, and when I came home from Iraq, I had a difficult time recovering from the war. And I talk about how basically, in a lot of ways, my wife saved my life, and I got in therapy, and it continued to improve and save my life. And I learned a technique called taste mindfulness. And I talk about how that basically sprung me into being a bourbon taster and, who I am now. So that's what the book's all about. So, and also, I kind of became obsessed with the brand called Old Crow. The best bourbon ever. And now it's like a total bottom shelf turd. And I spent 20 years like studying Old Crow and trying to figure out what happened to Old Crow and who was James C. Crow. And like, why did Jim Beam turn it into a rot gut bottom shelf, turd of a bourbon? So the book is about discovery and finding myself, and a lot of it through bourbon, which, ordinarily you don't hear therapists telling their patients to go drink, but it worked out for me. Kevin O'Reilly, are there notes of the other 75 expressions to get to this? Are you talking about for the rest of the top 100? So when I publish the list, there will, at the very beginning and a couple other times, I end up having basically my fiber got cut. Don't know what happened, so I had to move everything, and I was trying to work with AT&T. So my plan was to reveal the entire list today. I was not able to do that, but I was like, I'll do the tasting of what we have ranked out as the top 25. So, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I see K-Luke is in the chat. Y'all, make sure y'all are checking out that brand. Really good brand. They're doing some great things. Keep them in your, purchasing collection. So there's some good stuff. Dan the Man says, you're proof that bourbon is much more than alcohol. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Alan Pulowski asks if Jacqueline was my therapist. No, she was not. She was in nursing school when we met. I think that's always funny. Like people often think that she was because she got she ended up being like in the mental health community, and people always think that she was my therapist. If she was, that would really not have worked out well for me, because then I couldn't date her. That would have sucked for me. I would not have liked that at all. Alan says, the fiber being cut on top 100 is a top 100 day is a conspiracy theory. I swear to God, like I wanted to talk about it like that, but Alan, I was so dadgum. I was so like trying to like just solve like the problem that I couldn't fathom joking about it. And I'm just so grateful that I had my kid and Jacqueline help me out. They were great. Kevin O'Reilly, are there any other whiskeys that weren't American whiskey that impressed you in 2025? Well, yeah, I got to think about that one. I don't know. I got to think on that one. I'm not. Yeah, we had. I'm trying to think of what we had at the Ascots. That was really good. That was different. There was a Danish whiskey. There was a Danish whiskey that I was really into. I can't remember the name of it though. Everybody's wanting to know where Jack Daniel's 14 year was. I'm going to guess that's going to be in the 20s. I think that's probably in like the 26 to 30 range. Dan the Man, 2 distillers not here, Willett and Augusta. Also, your thoughts on Barton. Yeah, Augusta did not make the list this year. And Willett did. Willett's 4-year small batch. I didn't taste as much as I have, in the last year, and I don't think I tasted a lot from Augusta. So I would say that would be a big difference between, this year and years past with Augusta. For whatever reason, whether they didn't send samples to me, or they didn't send them to the Ascots, or I didn't buy them in a store. I didn't taste a lot of their stuff this past year, so that's on me. But also, like, as I kind of wrote in one of my articles, that this past year was a difficult one for me from a tasting perspective. So I didn't taste as much as I had in the past. Working on it. But last year, I mean, I was out for 2 months with eye surgery. And then, big part of the year was just finishing this book up. And that kind of like really, it took up a lot of time. I do love rum, abandoned bourbon. I do love rum. In fact, one of my earlier books was about rum. In fact, Rum Curious is I think turns 10 years old soon. Good Lord. I've written a lot of books. Okay. Yeah, so I will have the completed list for you all tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day. So let's definitely try to get some more questions in here. I'm actually feeling great. If y'all have any more questions, drop them in here. I probably got about 10, 15 more minutes. Let's see if I have any more of. Let's see. I'm gonna drink more of L. Brothers Justice is like my finishing. What did they finish here? Finishing fourth. This is like my. I think this is the highest an American single malt has ever finished in my top 100. Looks like I've lost a chat here in my software. Let me see if I can find you all in my YouTube. Maybe. Let's see. Where are you all? Did my stream end? I don't want to look at my own videos. I just want to go to my YouTube. All right, here we are. We're live right here.
How much time did you spend, Neil?
There we go. Okay, yeah. So your stuff isn't loading up. Your questions are not loading up in there. Okay, so I'm in now, legit in the chat here. Brennan Buller, longtime viewer. I'm so confused, blaming internet, but still going on. Where can we find the rest of the top 75? Or will it be listed later? I'll get that listed later. Mentioned that a couple times. I apologize, y'all. Look, I like to have my stuff kind of like buttoned up, at least buttoned up more than it was today. But yeah, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that out there for you all. Don't fret on that. So I'll get that up there tomorrow. This was simple. Like I didn't want to get like what I had scored something, between 30 and 45. I didn't want to get what was accurately 30 improperly, at 40, and it just the way I did my tasting, it the top 25 was very easy to like push off and do this tasting. Get on Joe Rogan. Greg says, well, Joe Rogan's producer like reached out or talked to somebody that I know about me, and it may happen one day. You never know. But if I do, I would like to roll with him. I think it'd be really cool to roll. I mean, Joe Rogan would probably kill me. He would kill me in jiu-jitsu, but I got a little game. I might be able to get something in there. Patrick Foe, what is your reaction to having an American single malt so high? Great question. Drinking what I want to drink tonight. Brothers Justice would have been number one. But I do my tastings based on what, trying to be objective regarding what I taste and how I feel things on my tongue, and that's how the winners came about. But this was fantastic whiskey. Absolutely loved it. Grave Shots X, who is a YouTube member, thank you. When you spit whiskey, do you take a bigger than normal sip to make up for it with the remaining liquid? Great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that question. And yes, I do actually. I make sure I get full surface coverage on my tongue. But there's no way I could have drank all 25 of these, right? Like, I would not be through the night managing myself. I would be doing the hiccups. It would not have been good. It would not have been good. But yeah, so I want to make sure I have full surface coverage on the tongue so I can feel it as best I can, spit it out, and, you can still feel the residuals there. So great, great question. Great question. Dan Mann, any up and coming distillers to pay attention to? Boy, I think we found I think I found the biggest one I can give you, and that's the Distillers of Brothers Justice. Finishing number 4 on this list, which is Murderer's Row. Whew, they beat a lot of good whiskeys. That's for sure. It's a good whiskey. Yeah, as you know, I just picked it. Oklahoma Jack. Go Pokes. Baumburger's PFG was the best thing I tasted this year. Was lucky enough to taste it at a restaurant at Grand Lake in Oklahoma. Where do the Pokes finish in wrestling this year? Well, let's hold on here. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this on. Oh, it won't fit. So, all right. So he's asking me where the Oklahoma State Cowboys finished. As you can see, this is Oklahoma State headgear signed by the great Dustin Plott and Wyatt Hendrickson. And I'm a big Oklahoma State Cowboys wrestling fan. And actually, I'm having a little bit of a cauliflower moment right now. Like, my ears are real puffy. So when I did that hurt like a son of a bitch. Like, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but this part right here I got head butted, and my ears are all inflamed right there. It hurts like shit. But anyway, I think realistically, I can make a case that Oklahoma State could win the national championship. Like, it's a crazy case, right? No real college wrestling fanatic outside of a team could ever make a case like this against Penn State. Like, Penn State is so far above everyone else. And Messenbrink is what he did to Caliendo the other day. It was, Caliendo is one of the best wrestlers at 65, and he made him look like just an elementary kid. It just was Messenbrink takes levels up every time. He's so fun to watch wrestle. But I could make a case that all 10 wrestlers for Oklahoma State could get on the podium, and if they fit out, they're going to finish top 3. I really believe in this team, and I believe in David Taylor more than anything. He is just such an exceptional coach. So is Kevin Ward. So is Caldwell. So is Lee Roper. That staff is insane. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, you get me talking about wrestling. We're going to lose everybody. Daniel Z11, I want to host a bourbon tasting with friends. Any tips? Yes. Lots of tips for you. But I would say let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. So have a theme for the tasting. So you can have a theme based on proofs. You can go 80, 90, 100, 107 proof, and then cask strength. You could do that. Then you could also do like a theme of, say, bottled and bond, where you have a bunch of bottled and bond whiskeys, and then you give the history of bottled and bond, which is real easy to find. You could pull it up on the internet, or get a book or something. And then you could do something like do weeded bourbon versus high rye, or bourbon versus rye. So I just think that like you've got, when you have friends over, if you have a theme, anything that you can do to engage them, to conversate that they can relate to. Because if they're not whiskey geeks, you can lose them. Yeah, you can lose them. It's hard to keep non-whiskey geeks engaged about whiskey. I've lost a lot of rooms that way, trust me. Cody Mills, Oklahoma boys, go Pokes. Hello from Iowa, Fred. We're just over here talking about some wrestling. The Iowa must have came in there. I saw a new Slipknot bottle on the shelf today. New whiskey or just a new bottle design? Boy, I don't know about that. I had Clown on my show a while down the road from it, and Clown started really coughing, and like, me and the video guys, like, I think we just got COVID. Clown gave us COVID. It was kind of funny. But no, I don't know what that's about. I'll look into it. Cody says, would love to get you on the Bourbon Nerds podcast. You are a legend. Well, I don't know about all that, Cody. I definitely don't think of myself as a legend, but definitely I'd love to come on your show. Let me know. Hit me up. Hit that email that's you see floating up there. We'll get that going on there. Nicholas, where are the old Carter reviews? That is something I got to get better at. Like, I don't have a lot of old Carter. And what I do have are single barrels. So I tend to be a little bit more shy about reviewing single barrels, because there's so many of them, and like you can, if I reviewed a single barrel, the chances of you finding that single barrel is like 1 in like a kajillion, because there's going to be 200 bottles of it. So that's kind of from my whiskey advocate DNA. Marvin Shankin kind of instilled that in us, and John Hansel too. Like, and we just kind of had this like thought of like reviewing single barrels was a waste of time. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Let's see here. What was number one? Oh, if you're just joining us now, George T. Stagg was your winner. Followed by, well, you can go back on the replay. You could probably find it in the chat somewhere. But George T. Stagg was the winner. My Bourbon Buddy. Hey, Fred, just curious, what bottle do you have the most backups of, and how many? Now, that's a very personal question. But let me see. I don't really. I would say my Elijah Craig barrel pick. So I did an Elijah Craig barrel pick about 4 years ago now, and I bought, I think, half the barrel. So that would be that one. No, everyone's assuming that it's Henry McKenna. It is not Henry McKenna. I don't even buy Henry McKenna anymore. It's like turned to shit. Like I haven't had a Henry McKenna that I've like genuinely liked in like 2 or 3 years. Like I don't know what they've done to that one, but I think they're putting all their good whiskey in the Elijah Craig and Larceny barrel proofs. let's see. Which of the top 25 is Club Marzipan doing a barrel pick of? That comes from the great Philip Bosch. Now, let's see here. We could probably do a barrel pick of Angel's Envy. We got a barrel pick of Buzzard's Roost coming up. We've done a K-Luke batch. We've done a K-Luke before. Wild Turkey. We just did the Russell's one. You know, I bet we could. Man. Thoughts on Marzipan Russell's pick? I got one from Mr. Breeden, waiting to pick it up. Well, Jeremy, that was a fantastic one. That pick was incredible. It was incredible, but it was not my favorite of the year. My favorite barrel pick of last year was actually the Forbidden one. The Forbidden one. Actually, you can still find bottles at I think Bourbon. I think our. Did any of the Hard Truth whiskeys make the top 100? Yes. Fred. Yep, absolutely. BCA Arkansas says Rocktown Mofo. I think that was last year. We did do a barrel pick at 291. We can get another one of those going. That was from Tim Harper in the chat. Delaware Bourbon Society. Great job, Fred. Would love to have you do a virtual tasting of your top 3 of 100 with Delaware Bourbon Society. Hey, hit me up, Delaware Bourbon Society. Let's make it happen, and let's do a book event around it. That'd be fun. Hit that email in the... Right there? Yeah, hit that email. Let's see. Yeah, Sid Marzipan is going to go down as a legendary barrel pick from Club Marzipan for sure, without a doubt. All right, y'all. Coming up on that time here. Got any more questions? Maybe calling it a night. Hopefully, I get to sleep in tomorrow and don't have to take the kids to school. That'd be nice. Question: do you think Brown-Forman is discontinuing Cooper's Craft to sell it under another name for more money? My conspiracy theory. I have heard that. Cooper's Craft is definitely on the way out. You don't see them putting the marketing money behind it, but they're really heavy on Woodford right now. Like Woodford sales are good, and Cooper's is kind of like eh. Basically, all the data is coming back and saying like 80 to 190 proof, 80 to 90 proof stuff isn't good unless it's like elevated. So people who are out buying bourbon want to buy something that feels fancy. So bourbon, which used to be the poor man's drink, is now like fancy man's drink. So it's kind of weird. Yes, I did know that Casey Jones just sold. Thank you, Matt Carter, for putting that in there. That's relatively recent. Yeah. Let's see. Booker's making a comeback. They haven't been great for years. They had 2 tonight in the top 25, so I'll go with that. But I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna call it a night, y'all. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. It'd mean a lot to me if you all pre-ordered my new book, Bottom Shelf. Just got this today, but I got to tell you, I wouldn't be here without you all. The whiskey community is a lot of things, but you all really have supported me and embraced me over the years, and the YouTube community, now Club Marzipan especially, saved me in the pandemic. And I say this every year, but I feel like this year I just got punched in the gut a couple. But I'm a little bit more on time and on top of things, and when it comes to my annual tasting. And if it didn't mean so much to some of you all hitting me up 3 and 4 times a day, I would not have known that I was late. But it was kind of funny. Like around December 12th, I started getting notes from people. Where's your list? Where's your list? Where's your list? And I was like, oh, I guess this thing actually means a lot to people. So I'm gonna work on getting better at delivering this for you all in a more timely manner. And thank you for tuning in and bearing with. If you're in Club Marzipan, I'll see you guys in the chat a little later. Cheers. Oh, one other thing. I forgot to tell you all this. But did you know vodka sucks?